just in the middle of Europe. This is Germany. In the south, Austria. The two countries share multitude of cultural similarities. Both speak the same language and almost have identical laws. Austria and Germany were once the same country way back. 1,000 years ago, all these territories were united as the Kingdom of Germany. The kingdom was part of the Holy Roman Empire and consisted of many small tribes and nations. As the empire caved in around 1800s, the German people were scattered in dozens of smaller states all over Central Europe. The Austria Empire was one of them and took the leading role of reuniting all the Germans. All state leaders came together in Vienna and finally came up with a united idea of forming an alliance, the Germany Confederation. It was a powerful alliance where important laws were decided together, and they were to be superior to the laws of the states, with Austria leading the way. Today, Germans are Germans and Austrians are Austrians. The definition of being German nowadays means being a citizen of Germany. But in the 18th to 20th century, this wasn't the case. The Germany identity was much defined by a common history, language, and culture. Like no other, the Austrians much wanted to unite all Germans and form a united state, the Greater Germany. But Prussia in the north immediately opposed. Prussia has always been powerful with a centralized system of governance and a well-organized army. They also wanted to expand their territory and make a united Germany, but only including the states in the north. Prussians never wanted to unite with Austria. Only the northern states, excluding Austria completely. This later caused war. Austria and Prussia fought against each other in a war that lasted for only 7 weeks. The Prussians won the Austrians and formed their Germany Empire. Despite of the Prussians' victory and the formation of the Germany Empire, many Germans lived outside the newly formed empire. The costs of Germany unification at the moment were close to being impossible. The defeat of Austria by Prussia negatively affected the whole Austrian Empire. They declined in strength and power as they lost many of their troops during the war. Since the Hungarians were living inside the Austria borders, this put much pressure on the Austrians, thinking that the Hungarians might rebel and take over the whole territory. Further concessions were made. Later, the territory emerged as the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It was still one of the European superpowers, being the third largest populated and the second largest in size. The empire was growing rapidly. Despite its rapid growth, the territory had internal issues with itself. The Austrians and Hungarians had equal power, thus the empire being ethically diverted with a strong regional system of authority, hence weakening the military. And besides that, there was also an autonomous region within the Kingdom of Hungary, Croatia-Slavonia. Austria-Hungary later allied with the Germany Empire. Both became brothers, and if one was attacked, the other would come up, merge, and defeat its brother's enemies. This made other European nations fear that they would become too powerful amongst them all. France and Russia also made a similar alliance. Russia and Serbia, then Britain and France with Belgium. More and more, intensity of superiority increased amongst all European nations like never before. In 1914, the heir to the throne of Austria was killed, and this marked the beginning of this whole thing. The political objective of the assassination of the Austrian heir was to free Bosnia and Herzegovina of Austria-Hungarian rule, then establish a common South Slav-Yugoslav state. War was declared on Serbia and Russia too, since both allied. This later caused World War I. Germany and Austria-Hungary remained allies during the World War I. When they were defeated, the German Empire collapsed and the Weimar Republic was formed, known as the Republic of Germany. Austria-Hungary was much affected by war. In the aftermath of World War I, the Allied powers and Austria-Hungary signed the Treaty of Trianon, which resulted in losing 2/3 of its territory and later the formation of the Republic of German Austria, a testament to its German heritage. A peace treaty was signed 5 years later after the World War I in Versailles. The agreement stated that Austria and Germany were forbidden to ever make a reunion, fearing the consequences made to never happen again and the blame for causing World War I. The treaty also forbade the use of the name German Austria, and the country was renamed Austria. Adolf Hitler. He was born in a small town of Braunau am Inn in Austria. He had fought in World War I and foresaw the unified Greater Germany which Austrians wanted for so long. Hitler called this the Hangman's Reich. All the ethnic Germans had to be part of the same Germany. He placed a lot of pressure onto the Austrian leaders and also threatened with an invasion. Austria organized a referendum, but the night before the voting, Germany troops were seen entering Austria. Under Germany military supervision, the vote was held and 99.7% casted in favor of unification. Austria was undergoing a deep economic crisis and had lost many of its territories. After emerging with Nazi Germany, it became a European power once again. In the May of 1945, the Red Army penetrated into Berlin and captured the city, which later ended World War II. Nazi Germany lost its territories. The Great Germany was split into 4 regions, which were controlled by the Allied armies, and became West Germany and East Germany. And further south, Austria was divided into the same way, between Western countries and Soviet Union. The Allied forces in Austria declared themselves separate from the rest of Germany. This is where both countries separated until to date. Austria formed its new government with mostly exiled politicians that were against the Nazi rule. This made Austria seen as a country that was invaded by the Germans and later liberated by the Allied forces. Germany was punished by the ruling Allies, and Austria further rebuilt its region as an independent state, just like other European nations. Austrians and Germans share many similarities in terms of language, culture, and lifestyle. They both have a strong connection through history. But the interest by the Austrian government of merging together with the Germans slowly perished away. If you enjoyed watching this video, check out this other video on the African's secret plan. What is Africa planning big? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel.